It is content. It's Saturday night. It's me. It's Tony James. First time guest on the show. First time meeting him. We've interacted a lot on X, and I've watched him on many other streams. Smart guy, good writer. Got some good comics out there. He's got Substack. You should all go and sign up
Yeah.
for. But hello and welcome to my little stream here.
Thanks for having me. I really enjoy the title of your of your show, content.
It's it is definitely a poke at what is happening with content creation, and hopefully what happens here isn't just as empty as and vapid as most of what seems to be out there that is content is, and hopefully it helps creators and makes people aware of projects that they want to know about.
Yeah,
But and also, I just like talking to guys who like the same stuff I do.
cool, cool.
But first,
Um,
before we jump into do anything else, let's just address Sam Keith died.
who? Oh, I'm sorry. I feel like I'm gonna offend somebody. Who is that?
Sam Keith, the creator of Max, artist. He was he did art for Wolverine. He did some Hulk stuff. But his big like thing was the Max comic, and it had a animated series for a short time on MTV for a bit.
Mhm.
But apparently he just died today. His artwork. Oh, hold on, we got to real quick. Also, this will say some hi to John's long box,
Hey, John.
and he says greatest mustache ever.
Yeah. Yeah,
but
thank you.
um, but his I'll be honest, I had the Max series when it first came out. I had the first I'm gonna say like 6 issues, but
Mhm.
I never really was a big fan of his art style. I recognize his talent in inking and like the detail on like a if you look up his pictures of his arms, hairy arms, just he does an amazing job at that. But
Wait,
yeah, no, it is
what was his name again? Let me look him up.
Sam Keith. But he was a big influence on a lot of people. I know that the guys that do what is it called? The weird frog. He's a plumber comic here in the indie space. John, do you know what I'm talking about? But they were super influenced by his work.
Oh, it's
And
the brown suit Wolverine going up against Juggernaut.
yeah, that's one of the big where they're facing off face to face. John says,
Yeah.
yeah, he was only 63 years old. So
Wow. Young.
that's kind of a sad thing for the comic world. A lot of people wanted to see him get back into drawing, but
Mhm.
sadly won't be seeing that happening. But
That's
aside from
unfortunate.
that, how are you doing? How's the campaigning going? How many streams
Uh,
have you been on?
this is the third one. Yeah, the third one. I was on Bancroft last night. That was great. Talking to Bancroft is always a real joy because he's like a genuine fan of my
Mhm.
work.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was great. We talked about all our Substacks. Yeah, it's been campaigns going great. It's the strongest launch that Star Noir has had
Nice.
for the whole series. So it's been really incredible to see so many new readers and people like checking it out for the first time. And it feels like every time a Star Noir campaign does well, it's like it feels great in the moment, and then once the campaign's done, it's like, oh, now the work sets in. And the pressure just kind of mounts every single book. But as I said on Bancroft's show yesterday, the pressure keeps the work honest. So
Yeah,
we never get a big head over here at Star Noir. We always feel like every book has to prove itself.
nice. Did do you feel is this campaigning, getting on streams and talking to people. How do you see that? Is this kind of a break in the work, or like you're just kind of chilling and talking, or is this like something you're like, I have to do this again?
No, this is going on streams is like a mini vacation from all of the work. It's like, there's work to, with between Star Noir and Moonshine, there's just work to do for either book every single
Mhm.
day. So to kind of pause for a brief moment to just kind of talk to people and talk to creators. Yeah, it's just like just kind of enjoying the time in the sun before I got
Okay.
to go back in the hole and make another book.
Yeah.
But yeah, I this is the part I always enjoy because I like talking to creators.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I really enjoy this part of it.
Is this your full-time gig? Is comic booking,
Yeah, comic booking
writing?
is my full time gig, which is funny. When I did start a more book one, it was kind of the last attempt to make
Mhm.
something of myself in comics, and I went into that first Star Noir campaign going, all right, if this one doesn't work out, I'll just find some other creative outlet. But luckily, people really showed out for that book, and here we are on book four, which is kind of kind of a surreal thing to say.
Yeah,
Um,
it is. I also am a real fan of the book. It's um, super well written, beautifully drawn. Coloring is amazing. Like just the whole package, just really really well done. And
Thank you.
let's say hey to
Hey,
Cole
Cole.
King.
Cole
Um,
King, I really like Cole, how vocal Cole has been about my work, and honestly, we need more people being vocal in the space about creators' works, especially
yeah.
like stuff that's like legitimately well made. And so
Mhm.
people like Cole going online and like championing Star Noir, Moonshine, it's really appreciated. I really do like seeing that.
Yeah, yeah, and he's got a great looking book coming up
Yeah.
as well. So looking
So
forward to seeing what he's got, what he's got cooking.
There's a funny
What-
little factoid. The artist for his book, Christian Rossi, he
Mhm.
was originally supposed to be the artist for Star Noir.
Oh.
Um, we were Christian and I, we were in like a very early preliminary stage where he was just doing character sketches. Like we hadn't done
Mhm.
any sequentials yet. And then he got like a big DC opportunity, and he was like, "Hey, this is going to take up all my time. Like, it looks like the Star Noir thing you're doing is like a very serious thing. So since we're so early, do you mind if we just sort of like just cut it here?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, that's fine."
Mhm.
And then right after that, Pablo's like, "Hey, I'll draw this book for you," and it's like, "Oh,
Nice.
cool."
If you whenever you get around to like trade paperback, you are you gonna if you do you have any of those
Yeah,
toss those in at the end kind of thing,
yeah. I
extra
still
little.
I still have the sketches that Christian did. Yeah. I mean, I was thinking about just like just posting it on Twitter or something, just
Yeah,
to
yeah.
kind of so everybody could see like in another reality, this is what
Mhm.
Star Noir would have looked like.
Nice. That'd be yeah, it'd be nice to see those. But
Yeah.
uh I just want to talk about my week for real quick, and talk about your week. But if you follow me on X and anyone who's watching, you read that I almost fell off scaffolding at work this week.
Uh-oh.
I was what was it, 2 days ago? I've done drywall. I do drywall for a living.
Mhm.
And I've done it for 30 years or something like that.
Wow.
Never once have I ever come close to falling off of scaffolding. Like just it just has never happened.
How high up were you? How
Um, yeah, the planks were sitting at about 11 foot.
Thanks.
Yeah, and I don't know what I was doing. I
Yeah.
looked down at where my foot was heading, and
Mhm.
I didn't change directions and stepped right between the two planks that I was supposed to be
Oh,
on.
oh god.
And uh, I ended up landing on the opposite plank and almost rolling backwards off of that, but I grabbed the thing and saved myself in time. But yeah, that was a highlight of the week. I can tell you that. My
Oh,
partner freaked out, and
I
he's
could
an anxious yeah, he's an anxious guy anyway, so it took him a minute to cool down. Like he starts sweating and stuff, like starts locking wheels and moving stuff out of the. I'm like, that was my fault. It wasn't nothing else, bro. But
Yeah.
another weird thing that happened this week, same at work. I was on the scaffolding, and I had asked my partner to give it a move, just push it over a little bit so I can get closer to the wall. And we
Mhm,
have a little saw. It's a little hand saw, battery powered thing. It rolled off, hit him in the head, and there's a guard that sits over the blade itself.
mhm.
That's what hit him in the head, and as it slid down his head, it opened up, and then the saw blades hit him on the arm.
This
It was a crazy little week at work. I mean,
this
we're
this is an eventful week. This is a scary story you're telling me.
yeah, yeah. But every once in a while, I realize, like, you do certain things over and over and over again, and you don't realize that, you know, it could be dangerous. Like, like just driving every day. We don't think about it until we see something happen.
Yeah.
But like, this was one of those weeks where I'm like, man, I actually do kind of have a dangerous job. I'm walking on stilts that the foot pad is sitting at 7 foot high,
Mhm.
and clomping around these jobs, and I don't even think about what's on the ground because I've done it for so long. But like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Ooh,
comic book writing. I would love to do, because then I might not die in a horrible fashion.
I bet food tastes a little bit better after that.
Yeah. But yeah, I just had to talk about that. People were asking on, and writing all that out. I don't have the patience for it on Twitter, but
Mhm.
so I'm
Well
okay, everyone.
well, yeah, glad that you're alright.
So let's talk about, actually, I want to talk about Star Noir. The I did finish reading issue 3.
Okay, cool.
What was it, 3 days ago or something?
Mhm.
And the Orson Welles
Yeah.
stuff. This is one thing that stuck out to me. Okay,
Okay.
did you watch interviews with him and things like that, to get like a cadence? The way he talks is very, dramatic.
Yeah. Mhm.
Did you do a lot of research to find out, is that how he talked?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was watching a lot of interviews. There's a very humorous like champagne outtakes commercial that
Mhm.
he did later in his life. He said he was very tired when he recorded it, but he comes off as really really drunk. So he's very aloof in those outtakes and just not really understanding what's going on with this commercial he's filming. So we kind of took that and as inspiration to kind of like, oh, what if he's very like disconnected as a drunk, like because you expect kind of like a more belligerent one, but he's more like he's just like out of touch with reality, which
Yeah,
is
yeah.
very Orson Welles.
I really enjoyed that, reading through that, like, just very humorous moment. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
no, but yeah, I'm looking forward. I'll be honest with you, I haven't backed 4 yet because I
Mhm.
haven't gotten to the bank.
Gotcha.
I'm getting there tomorrow.
No, I hear
But
you.
I'm definitely looking forward to getting more Star Noir. And I realized today, which I thought I had,
Mhm.
I never backed uh, Moonshine.
Moonshine, yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
you can back it through the
yeah,
book 4 campaign. It's an add-on.
yeah. I
And
saw.
you can actually read the first 10 pages of Moonshine with like full lettering and everything. There's a PDF link in the campaign page for book 4.
Nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I do want to get into that one too. It's like, you've got your noir mystery, you got your weird western, which is something that seems to be a trend right now.
Yeah.
The weird western. And actually, I think a little bit, the noir mystery is kind of catching on again too.
Yeah.
Are you seeing that
Uh
as a trend?
there's definitely more like supernatural noirs than when I first started with Star Noir book 1. So yeah, I see a lot more of it now. It's a little more prevalent. Um but yeah, I make the one that I want to make. I'm very happy making that one. Yeah.
Are you, with your two both books? It's kind of a mix of classic, western or a noir, and then space.
Yeah.
Is the space theme just something that you've always kind of been drawn to, or did you just
Uh,
think this
yeah,
fits?
yeah. No, no, yeah, Star Noir is a mashup of two things that I really enjoy. Noir films. And then things like the X Files.
Mhm,
Moonshine is like my love for both westerns and my fascination with space. And we just my lady and I we just watched a whole documentary of the Apollo missions.
mhm,
Watching the footage of them land and do all the prep work to get everybody home and just fascinated. It's on Netflix. You can watch it. But yeah, it uh, Moonshine was like the opportunity to kind of put that stuff together, the love of the westerns and the love of space, and it felt like a really fun pairing. I didn't know of too many comics that did space westerns.
mhm,
So I just thought it was like a really great opportunity to kind of stand out with something very interesting.
yeah.
And it's really great to watch Moonshine, take shape and have its own identity separate from Star Noir. And I think if you read the PDF on the campaign page, you kind of see how it's different than
Yeah.
Star Noir.
I mean, I think that there's a lot of space stories that have just that kind of the pacing and the
Mhm.
feel of a western,
Yeah,
but to just be a straight up like you got robot horses
yeah, yeah.
and they're uh herding, right? Is that what they're doing? They're herding things or
Yeah. Well, and one of the scenes there's a horse, a charger, like we call them chargers. They're a charger wrangling scene.
wrangling it.
In the context of the story, the robots are based off like the Boston Dynamics robots,
Mhm,
and so the idea is they go out onto the lunar landscape by themselves and kind of develop their own kind of core memory of how the lunar landscape works, and then our main character Wade. He wrangles up all the ones that have successfully navigated the lunar landscape, and then has to like scoop up the duds that kind of got buried in the dirt or upside down somewhere. So we kind of created a scene around that where he and his love interest Celine, they kind of have this sort of like competitive wrangling up of the Chargers, while you as the reader get to soak in a lot of the lunar landscape.
yeah. With both books, how different is your like research between the two of them? Like, is there are you able to watch more for the
Mhm.
space stuff, or movies versus real research with books and internet searches? What is there a big difference between the two?
Um, yeah, I mean the research is intensive in both. I think with Moonshine, there's a lot of science to get right. Just I wanted to create like Star Noir, I wanted to create a sense of believability, and you do that with excruciating detail. But with being on the moon, you have to kind of like you understand how planet Earth looks and
Mhm.
at what backgrounds would show Earth. There's a we tell each book in lunar phases, so you have to kind of determine where the sunlight is and how strong it is. And I have to be the one that kind of be like, oh, it's not as bright. Oh, actually, you have to like tone it down because we get Earth shine from the sun reflecting off Earth, but then just reflects off the moon. So there's always these like little kind of details that I have to kind of keep track of. Whereas like Star Noir is kind of just like here's a bunch of like historical images that we
Mhm.
are recreating, but Moonshine is kind of like science, mixed with stuff I've made up that just sounds plausible.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I feel like there you could like bring in some Neil deGrasse Tyson to be like, actually, that's not right, that's not correct. Oh, so
Yeah.
I'm try to have the science as logically sound as possible.
Yeah, to be honest, I mean, I feel like he'd do that with just about any science fiction thing there was,
Yeah,
though.
yeah,
he, he likes to do that, pick the things out. But
yeah, yeah.
I do like the historical backgrounds in
Mhm.
Star Noir. Like,
Yeah.
uh, I was a big fan of the older Little Rascals and Laurel and Hardy,
Mhm.
and a lot of those.
Mhm.
it's a bit earlier in the Star Noir settings, but,
Mhm.
still, to see them filmed in Hollywood
Yeah.
way back when Hollywood was, there was still dirt roads and stuff in some of those,
Yeah.
and, just to see that what that place looked like, what Los Angeles, Hollywood looked like at different times is always kind of fascinating. It's kind of
Yeah.
and you
The
do a good job in the book of showing some of that just great art of the cars and the buildings.
yeah, yeah. Pablo, our artist, yeah, he just has this like amazing attention to detail. The way he takes all of my, because I send him a bunch of references for like locations, cars, suits. If a character sits in a chair, I want a 1940s chair. Like
Mhm.
I don't want to leave it up to imagination. But his interpretation of all of those references are really really cool. And yeah, he just comes up with really like dynamic shots that I'm just constantly blown away by.
Yeah. Do you 6 issues, right? Is what Star Noir
Yeah,
is going to be?
yeah, yeah.
Um, and how about Moonshine? How many issues are you trying to get out of that?
That one is I think that one's gonna be 5, but they're gonna be like Star Noir. They're meaty chapters, so there's a
Yeah.
lot to tell per book.
Nice.
Yeah, yep, mhm.
That's good. I mean, like Star Noir. I did that little mini
Yeah,
review.
I loved it. That was my favorite, one of my favorite review videos. I still have that saved on my hard drive because it was just like I love the way that you cut it, the 1940s music. I love the dropping of the comic on the table.
Yeah, yeah.
Was kind of like a nice, as someone who edits his own videos, like I like a well made edit, and I thought that your edit was very very snappy.
Thank you. I need to get back to doing those.
Yeah.
The one of the things that I when I was making those, and part of the reason I kind of stopped is I stressed over the music way too much because it was always just like I want to find the thing that just fits the mood of the project perfectly,
Yeah.
So yeah, I would spend quite a bit of time, and then there's uh you want to try to get it to like if there's words involved, if there's lyrics, I want it
Mhm.
to maybe have something to do with what's going on. And so I'm listening to stuff I've never heard before in my life
Mhm.
because it has a word that's in the title, and I'm
Yeah.
just like, okay, this one might work. I have a bunch of songs on my playlist. Every once in a while it'll pop up and I'll be like, I have no idea why this is on my play. Oh no, this was one of the ones I was looking for.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I there was yeah, it really was what I said in there. It's one of the best books, and I'm not even in the indie scene.
Yeah.
It really needs to catch on and catch fire, and hopefully when it's all said and done, you get the whole all 6 issues out, and
Yeah.
you can.
Yeah. What's great is that the conversations with the with Pablo, my artist, is like it started to like to pivot. Like we know what the ending is. We have like a very set plan for how the rest of the story goes. But we've like started discussing about like the next Star Noir story arc, which takes place in New York during Prohibition.
Mm,
So we kind of bring in the speakeasies. We introduce new races. So once this arc wraps up, like there's going to be more Star Noir. So it's
nice.
it's not it's not going away anytime soon.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I like that. I look forward to that then. Like
Yeah.
moving around to different. Are you going to stick to moving forward from there, the past, like certain eras, or will you move
Yeah.
into modern detective work as well?
No, I like the kind of period piece aspect of Star Noir.
Mhm.
I've always kind of envisioned it as a sort of like True Detective, where like it's a different time period. With one partner is an alien, one's a human. We can kind of play around with which is which depending on the story. But yeah, I have I have a lot of ideas for how we can incorporate aliens into various time periods.
Nice. So I was wanted to ask you this too. So you kind of dropped off of a lot of X and kind of you wrote a post when you dropped off about getting off of social media and pretty much sticking to your Substack for updates and posts
Yeah.
and your thoughts and stuff. I kind of know why if we want to touch on the why, but I'm more interested in how is that going for you? Like as far as has it affected your reach with your books and stuff like that? Have you seen any difference in those things?
It's actually been a lot better. Sometimes when you make a life decision, it's really rewarding when you feel like things are kind of working for you. And I feel like the choice to move to Substack was a lot better. I think that space is more open to kind of long form discussions about various comics topics.
Mhm.
There's more there's more nuance, which Twitter does not have. Twitter is not capable of nuance. Um, yeah, and in terms of reach, I really don't like to say this during campaigns, but
Mhm.
this is just like me kind of telling you the analytics of my crowdfunding campaigns. But since Star Noir Book One, the backers that I get from Twitter, they really like amount to like less than 2%. Like so,
Mhm.
if a campaign ever fails, it'll never be Twitter's fault, which is
Yeah.
basically the bottom line of it. So in terms of reach, like didn't really have a lot of reach to begin with.
Mhm.
Um, and so, I think with Substack, I actually get to speak to my readers more directly, because a lot of the people that sign up are from my mailing list.
Yeah.
So I feel like when I do essays, I don't have to worry about, I don't have to worry about some chooch somewhere. I can just kind of give my opinion and actually kind of have a positive discussion about it. So I think the Substack thing has been really, really positive and something that, yeah, I'm just going to keep doing.
Yeah. I was wondering about that because, like you said, the Twitter like reach is limited. It's basically a few guys talking to each other
Yeah.
and which, I enjoy talking to them all.
Yeah.
And like I'll never let's be honest, I'll never have a project. It's never gonna happen for me. I'm too
Yeah.
lazy, whatever.
Yeah.
I got good ideas, I got no drive. But
Yeah.
but but my heart is
Hmm.
that I want Cole, I want John's Lombard, I want you guys to do well.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, it shouldn't really weigh on my mind as much as it does,
Hmm.
but I'm always wondering how can they, these guys, I'll say we as a royal we or however you want to say it, but like how can we break out of this corner of
Hmm.
the indie market and X, and break out of this, us four, no more, not because we're trying to keep everyone out, but because that's just who it is.
Yeah. I find that a lot of my success in comics has come from stepping out of the Twitter bubble, and finding readers that don't live on comics Twitter.
Mhm.
Um, I just think that I think that's what a lot of creators need to kind of be doing more and more. Is just try because I always equate comics Twitter with the allegory of the cave. I
Mhm.
just I feel like there are a lot of people that are looking at shadow puppets on the wall, thinking like that is the reality, and it's like no, it's three people like shining
Mhm.
shining a light and trying to sell you on that reality. And
Yeah.
I think the people that kind of like leave that bubble, they go like, okay, well, the sky is not falling in the way that they constantly try to pitch you on Twitter.
Yeah. um are you I know, Substack's the main thing, but I know you have like a YouTube channel,
Mhm.
Instagram. What kind of movement are you seeing on there? Are those doing okay?
Instagram's yeah. Every time I do a campaign, I get a lot of new followers on my Instagram. Instagram's great. I feel I feel like when I showcase the art from the book, it's much more receptive.
Mhm.
Before I had left Twitter, it was this kind of funny, interesting experiment where I post an image from one of my books on Instagram, and it would get like a few dozen likes and a lot of comments,
Mhm.
and I would post the same image on Twitter, and it was just like crickets, maybe a couple likes here and there, and it's just like this is the same image. I don't know. I don't get what's happening here.
Yeah.
So I yeah, I feel like the YouTube channel, I haven't been able to keep up with it lately just because I've been so busy with both Star Noir and Moonshine. Like I have more video ideas
Mhm.
for the Rightus channel. Like I want to do a video about the I don't know if you played the first Red Dead Redemption, but there's that ride where John Marston rides into Mexico, and it's this big, very quiet, very atmospheric ride into Mexico, and they're playing this
Mhm.
music. And I really wanted to kind of do a deep dive into like why this wasn't a cutscene and why this worked better as gameplay, and why that was like a really effective storytelling tool. I even wrote a script for it. I just don't have time to like record it and like cut it because it's not as important as making sure
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
backers see updates for Star Noir and Moonshine. So I hope if I sort of like level off, uh,
We got
yes,
Cole.
yeah.
X has
Yeah.
become one of the worst platforms as far as reach goes.
What's
It
I think it's because it's insular. It's just too
Mhm.
insular. It yeah.
It's a lot of it, the algorithm on everything kind of locks you into a box
Yeah.
already, like, if I post something on X that's comic related,
Mhm.
it'll get some views, it'll get some comments or whatever. If I post something, so I've really been getting into uh, m- so one of my ideas for a story had to do with
Mhm.
Mexican mythology,
Mhm.
and so since I got started looking into it, Mexico City is some of the haciendas that
Mhm.
people buy and redo,
Mhm.
and like they're beautiful, like the most beautiful. And I post I post those videos on X and get nothing because it doesn't the algorithm doesn't recognize it as the thing I'm usually doing, or
Yeah.
and it's kind of, to me it's kind of sad because I think people should see this thing. It's a beautiful house, and I want to talk about it as well. I don't want to just talk about the one thing,
Yeah.
I want to talk about other things, so the algorithm of course has that, but I also think we just get locked into our own little
I
groups and
also
our
I also think that the Twitter algorithm, whatever you're talking about, whether it's comics or cars, like it feels like it rewards tweets that feel combative. Um,
Mhm.
I don't know Nick Patch personally, but I saw I don't know it was maybe a month ago
Mhm.
he caused a bit of a kerfuffle on
Yeah.
Twitter. Uh, and there was like, I can't even remember what the tweet was, but I remember that it was like that first sentence was like like a very kind of combative statement,
Mhm.
and it was like and it seemed to be the one thing everybody was hung up on, and I'm like, but this is Twitter right here. I
Yeah.
feel like if he removes that first part, it's still a very fair take, but probably doesn't like blow up because like it doesn't anger people enough.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's sort of the problem with Twitter is like I feel like if I tweet something or have an opinion, I if it's full of nuance, like it's not no one's gonna like engage with it. But like
Mhm.
if I kind of make it a bit of a blanketed statement, like you'll just get a whole like, well, actually, well, hold on a second, and like
Yeah.
that's I don't have that experience on like Substack or Instagram, and yeah, that's that's why I
I mean,
don't.
yeah. And some of it also, is, on Substack, or, you can write out your whole thought.
Yeah, yeah,
And,
mhm,
Twitter, you can write out your whole thought, like, if you, pay for the blue check mark, you can write out your whole thought, sure, but
mhm,
Twitter's made to just go zip, 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 and scroll,
yeah,
scroll, scroll, and try to catch whatever that thing that's gonna catch your attention or whatever. And clicking on see more down at the
Mhm.
bottom of a couple sentences. A lot of people don't
Yeah.
want to do that, you know?
No, no, they want the snapshot.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, yeah. But Twitter be Twitter, you know?
Yeah, I do want to get back into making those short reviews though for that reason because that's one of the reasons I started making them was to hopefully get people outside of Twitter
Yeah, yeah.
to see them and um I don't know how well that worked
Mhm.
um because I didn't get very many views but
Yeah,
you also have to deal with that algorithm which rewards posting like every couple minutes like every I don't got
mhm,
the time for that, you know.
yeah, yeah. I mean, the your stuff is, the videos you make, they're very TikTok friendly. I've noticed. I
Yeah.
because they're kinda quick cuts, they're very snappy, they really hold your attention really well, you have good hooks, like, the dropping of the book is,
Hmm.
like, a great hook, like, that's, like if I was scrolling, if I didn't know you and I was just scrolling and I saw that, it's like, "Look, go back to that video for a second where you dropped the book," I would actually, like, wanna watch the rest of that video.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, but it's that algorithm thing. It's that I hate
Yeah,
like Spotify. I don't know if you use it or not, but
yeah,
uh I if you hit shuffle or like create a radio station based on this song,
yeah,
Spotify, and it's all the same stuff that's already on my playlist. Like it's the exact same songs over and over and over again. It drives
yeah.
me crazy.
Or
Like,
like on like when I do the shuffle thing and it's like it's like feeding me the same 5 songs, you're like,
mhm.
"There's like over 200 tracks on this playlist.
Yeah.
Why do I keep hearing the same 5 songs?"
Yeah, I mean, my I have a playlist that I can continually add songs to. It's
Mhm.
sitting around, I don't know, 4,000 songs or something right now. And yeah, it's the same songs over and over again. But
Yeah.
this week, Spotify did some sort of update.
Okay, cool.
So if you create a playlist based on a song, at the top they have the little tabs now, and one of them is depersonalize.
Okay.
You
What does
click
that
that and it'll take your songs that you have, like, on playlists or whatever already locked in,
Mhm,
take them off and add that and so, I was listening to, it was Tony Bennett's song, uh, oh, "Plenty of Money in You," I think is what the title is.
mhm.
Great song. It's from Swingers, I think it was on that soundtrack. But, uh, and I want to hear more of this. I feel like a swinging kind of mood right now, you know?
Mhm,
And hit the show, make a radio station, and it was all the same songs that I listened to. I've
mhm.
heard these songs, and then I noticed the button hit Count Basie popped up. I don't have any Count Basie. I don't have any, there was names I hadn't seen before. I'm like, oh, this is great. I ended up putting like 6 songs on my playlist because they were,
Yeah.
interesting.
Oh, while we're talking about music,
Mhm,
I was watching a little bit of your interview with Cole King, and you had mentioned the reason that you ask creators about like their music interests or movie interests, like you want to kind of get a peek behind the creator, kind of see what
mhm.
they like. I at least wanted to pitch to you
Yeah, yeah.
like one album and one
Mhm.
film. We don't have to kind of have a whole discussion about it, but
Yeah.
my one album is The Battle of Los Angeles, Rage Against the Machine.
Mhm.
I think a lot of that music has kind of really kind of hyped me up. Has a lot of given me a lot of confidence. I work out to it. It's got so many great tracks in it. Calm Like
Yeah.
a Bomb is my favorite track on that one. And then movie is The Matrix, the first Matrix. Because
Classic.
I watched that when I was really young. I didn't see the trailer. Like my dad was like, "Oh, we're just gonna go to the movies. What are we watching? Don't worry about it. I have good taste. You'll like it." And so like I like the idea that like you could kind of trick the audience, you kind of lure them into a false sense of security. Like I'm
Mhm.
just like, oh, he's just working this office job, and then you're like, wait, what? That's a fake reality, and it's this whole. So I thought that was like the idea that you could kind of trick the audience with plausible deniability and then just pull the rug out from under them. I thought that was a really compelling way to tell a story.
Yeah. Rage Against the Machine, I had uh listened to what is the Evil Empire album. That was
Okay.
one of the ones that I listened to. I haven't listened to any other stuff. I mean, besides a couple songs that were not on the album that were on the radio.
Yeah.
Um And yeah, The Matrix is a great movie. I need to watch that again, actually. I haven't watched it for a while. I started watching the Two Towers, Lord of the Rings again this morning.
Cool.
Well, to be fair, my wife started watching it, and I was doing other things. And next thing I know, I'm standing by the bed for like 40 minutes, because
Yeah.
it's just beautiful. It's just a beautiful, beautiful movie. But and also because I think she chose to watch it because I read or was it a video where someone said about the new Dune movies.
Mhm.
Yeah, the third one's coming out. And he said this kid said this trilogy is probably better than the Lord of the Rings
Well, hold
trilogy.
on a second. I don't know. I
Yeah,
mean, I haven't watched the new Dunes. I haven't watched any of those, so I can't really speak to the quality of it. But I mean, the Lord of the Rings, that trilogy is epic in scope. I can't imagine Dune would like dunk over it. That would be crazy.
nah, did you ever read the books?
No. Oh,
I read
Lord of the Rings, yes. Dune, no.
Dune. Yeah, I read listened to the first Dune book, and it was okay. It was fine. It didn't capture me enough to want to continue on
Mhm,
after that. But the movie, the new ones,
mhm.
um, they're really pretty,
Okay.
but I don't think that's hard to do anymore.
Mhm.
All the technology we have nowadays, it's not hard to make something pretty.
Do you
And
feel that those do you
in
feel
the
those
sense of sorry, in the sense of um, you know, it's aesthetically you can put things where you want it. You can put, whatever. It might not be pretty if you don't like the color grading or the pure digital quality. Like I have problems with those things. But
okay.
but the but the movies are boring. Boring as hell.
Oh,
They're
yeah, okay.
super boring.
Oh, okay. So you do feel it's very style over substance?
Oh yeah, yeah, very
Oh,
much so.
that's a shame.
And they're but I mean you if you want to it's so one of the things about like the Lord of the Rings movies is you can pause a lot of that movie and it looks like the cover of some great fantasy novel. Like
Yeah,
Dune has that. You can pause it at just about any time and it looks cool.
okay.
But then you unpause it and you're just like, there's no hope, there's no
Mm,
joy. It's just and it just kind of drags on. And it has have you seen the trailers for the new movie coming out called Have Fun, Don't Die? What's it called? See you later, have fun, don't die, or something like that. It's a
no.
Sam Rockwell's in it, and
Okay, cool.
he's
Love Sam.
he's playing a guy that comes from the future, and he has to collect some humans to help stop some AI takeover.
Okay.
Sam Rockwell's great. I like
Yeah,
the concept of the story,
yeah.
you know, but there's an overabundance of stuff happening on screen,
Mhm.
and I don't like. It looks like a mess. To me, it
Okay,
looks like a mess.
okay.
Did you ever watch uh what was that movie with the Asian lady and she was like it was like a multiverse.
Oh, Everything Everywhere All at Once?
Yeah, did you ever watch that?
Yeah, yeah. I thought there was a lot going on in that one. I was pretty entertained by that one.
I I didn't finish it.
Oh, okay, wow, okay.
To me, there's this thing that's happening where people, particularly when they're getting into this action comedy thing, this like kind of, it's kind of a lighthearted but snarky
Mhm.
comedy styling, and then action, where their basic mindset is let's just throw everything we can in there because we can.
Yeah, that's the kind of issue I have with sort of these like what is reality stories. You feel like it's an excuse for the storytellers to go like, well, anything is anything. We can just go to
Mhm.
like make it up as we go, and there's nothing that feels really grounded into some sort of set rules or some set structure. You
Yeah.
can just change everything on a dime if you want to. So it kind of lends itself to very chaotic storytelling, which some people do like.
Yeah, I mean, I think I actually read comics the same way. One of the reasons that like Star Noir attracts me is it is reality. For the most, the aliens can be, you can debate that, but
Yeah.
um, but it's grounded,
Yeah.
and art wise as well.
Mhm.
Returning to Sam Keith and
Yeah.
his art kind of reflects that to me of the kind of I can do it, so I will, and just throw in and there's a I said this when I was talking to Godfo a couple weeks ago.
Mhm.
There's an ugliness to his work, and there's an ugliness to a lot of these movies
Okay.
that just doesn't appeal to me. I want I happen to I just it's a perfect personal preference. I know a lot of people rave about Sam Keith and a lot of people rave about a lot of these movies that are out, but like give me clarity, give me beauty, give
Yeah.
me some sort of grounding, some sort of truth. And a little hope doesn't hurt either.
Yeah. I mean, I think I think there's just like an over polishedness, at least with like modern movies, because I think a lot of those tentpole films are made by committee and not
Yeah,
so much like the vision of one creator. Like those Lord of the Ring movies are Peter Jackson films.
yeah.
Like those aren't like made by committee films. They're overly polished and stylized. So it's like the ugliness is a intentional choice by Peter Jackson. Which is why they don't make movies like they used to.
Cole says, yeah, that's what it's called. Have fun. Good luck. Don't die. Yeah.
That's such a funny title.
It's I guess it's a common Midwest, some part of the Midwest, like um, when people leaving, that's what you tell them. So
Cool, cool.
but
Yeah,
I will eventually watch it. I'm not going to theaters to watch it because I don't. It's so expensive anymore. But
going to the theater to watch a film is it's very very expensive. It's a big consideration. How badly do I want to leave the house to go see this thing?
yeah,
Which it really puts demand on the film to be like, no, you really got to go see it. I can't even remember the last. Can't remember last. Oh, I saw the new Dracula. That was like whenever that came out.
mhm,
Because I like that book. And I kind of
yeah,
the Gary Oldman one is kind of a big staple of my childhood. So I really kind of wanted to see Robert Eggers' version of it, which was cool.
yeah,
It's I thought it was pretty good, but that was the last time but that was like months ago.
yeah.
And I can't even. There's probably an even bigger gap before that.
No, I the last couple movies I've seen in theater were my wife's choices.
Mhm.
So one of them was Wuthering Heights,
Okay.
which I hated. Um, I'm known in my house as the guy who hates everything. And I'm like, Anton Ego at the end of Ratatouille, where he's
Yeah.
like, I'll spit out what I don't love, kind of a thing. That's
Yeah.
my thing. It's like, no, I only like good stuff, but
You're not into Victorian romance?
no, I am.
Oh, you are? Okay.
So
It just Wuthering Heights just didn't hit.
I did not know um uh the Bronte sisters. It was Emily Bronte or whoever, whichever one of them wrote that.
Mhm.
Um, wrote everyone in there to be hated.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
I had no idea. So I came in expecting it to be like a Jane Austen story. Sense and
Mhm.
Sensibility is a
Yeah,
fantastic, like the BBC miniseries is fantastic. Loved
yeah.
it. And so I was expecting something like that. I come in
Okay,
and um all the characters are there's one character that's not hate worthy.
okay.
Everyone else like is super unbearable. Like
Oh god.
um and from what I've learned, asking around on Twitter and stuff, in the
Mhm.
books, it's kind of the same thing.
Okay.
Um, I don't. So okay, let's get into this one because, um, so I give some props to the director for trying to make art instead
Mhm.
of just pump it because she did some work with background settings and stuff. it kind of reminded me of like a knockoff Tim Burton.
Mhm. Okay.
Um, and so props for that, whatever. But adding unnecessary sex
Mm,
kind of threw off. Because I think the original book probably wasn't graphically sexually,
no.
and it was more the passion that happened in the book was probably more of a soul emotion thing.
Mhm.
And in this book, it just really just shrivels it down to just a sex thing. I mean, in the movie.
Yeah, this it's sort of indicative of the modern era.
Mhm.
Hedonism is trendy at the
Yeah,
moment,
yeah,
and I feel like they throw it in there so people can like talk about it online. Yeah, to
yeah.
its detriment, apparently.
But no, yeah, it was, and so that made it, for me,
Mhm.
I cared less about the character's emotions because it seemed purely like it was just a sexual attraction thing and not a love thing.
Mhm.
And,
Yeah.
yeah, and they were all unlikable, and, who was the actress in it? Harley Quinn, what was her name?
Oh, Margot Robbie.
Margot Robbie. I think she's supposed to the character in the book is supposed to be, like, 15 or 16.
Oh boy.
And so they got Margot Robbie in here, and
Mhm.
she's, 40,
Mhm.
and she's playing a petulant teenager.
Uh, that's odd. Hmm. That's
The
odd.
character has this, like, very, immature mindset, and it does
Mhm.
not work when you're looking at a full-grown woman. It
Oh
just
yeah.
become at that point, it just becomes like, I don't like this person. Like, if it was a kid, you'd be like, "Oh, it's just a kid." This is
She
an
just feels
adult.
she just feels emotionally stunted.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and so all in all, my wife loved it, my brother loved it, and I'm like, I there was a particular scene where the one good character, I was hoping he came in and would shoot both would shoot both the 2 main characters in the movie, and then I was like, if they ended the movie like that, I'd be happy, but they didn't.
There was my girlfriend and I we watched Hamnet.
Mhm.
That was a really really good film.
That one, yeah.
Yeah, I was very yeah, yeah, I don't think you're missing much gold. But Hamnet, I thought the performances in that were really 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 compelling. And just the way they were able to take Hamlet the play,
Mhm,
and kind of work themes of like stage plays and how people enter and exit on a stage and how they were able to visualize all of that
mhm,
was really really compelling. It was funny, like going into like the Oscar season, everybody's like, Sinners, 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 all the
mhm,
Sinners, is just like, and then they're like, I remember watching Sinners, and I thought Sinners was fine. I thought it was fine. That's
yeah.
basically the way I describe it. But like but then when we watched Hamnet, I was like, wait, this is like a serious film. Like this is
Mhm,
like actual art. Like this
yeah,
isn't something. This isn't trying to be like a popcorn flick. This is supposed to be like what I think about when I think about Oscar films. It's like, oh no, this is like a serious story that they're telling with very, very great performances driving it.
yeah.
So if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend
Oh,
Hamnet.
I did, yeah.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
was, did you cry?
I did not cry, but that is because I am a man and I suppress all of it.
I bawled, man. I was,
Yeah.
like, if you haven't seen it yet, hopefully no spoilers will come out of this, but, the the end and the closure
Oh yeah.
and the kind of when we wrapped up the movie and I stopped it, my wife's like, "What'd you think?" And I was like, "I loved it. I
Yeah.
loved it." It was, um, it was a story about how art
Mhm.
can help us prepare for
Yeah.
and get us through and help us remember the good and the bad times in our lives, and it did such an amazing, like, there's a part with hands being reached out, so don't worry about it if you haven't seen it,
Yeah.
but that part right there showing you that it's not just you, everyone
Yeah.
has these issues, and this thing called, art in this play can reach everyone in these moments, so
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, when she did the little, like, tap on her chest at the end.
mhm.
I did get choked up. It was very heart-wrenching, but I gotta solve it.
Well, here's my problem. I don't cry for anything else in life.
Okay.
Unless there's a moving soundtrack behind it. That's the only thing that gets me going, but
But yeah, 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 I really loved it. Yeah, it was just nice to kind of see that, like, big budget films like still interested in making genuine art, and
Mhm.
not something that feels like a homogenized popcorn flick. Like, it's what I felt about Sinners. I thought the performances in Sinners were great, but like once the vampire stuff came in, I was like, this could be like any summer film,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah, it had, you've heard the comparisons to From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah, actually, I mean, that's a little bit reductive. I do kind of like the storyline for Sinners. I like the first 30 minutes. I thought like this movie does not need vampires. Like, I was actually invested in like the brothers building a juke joint in Jim Crow
Mhm.
South, and they're gonna center it around this like really talented blues musician. And I was like, there's enough story
Yeah.
here. Like, this is a compelling character drama, and I felt like the vampires coming in sort of made it gimmicky,
Mhm.
and then also like they didn't really do anything with the vampire lore. It was just very like what you expect. Like,
Yeah.
if you get bit, then you change. Just take them through the heart, and then there's this. If you kill the main one, it kills all the other ones, which is
Mhm.
like a trope I saw in like Star Wars: The Phantom Menace. You press a button and all the droids die. Um, so yeah, at least Dust Till Dawn is like campy and fun and just like a silly movie.
But even with From Dusk Till Dawn had, for me, some of the same problems where
Mhm.
the early part of the movie with, Quentin Tarantino and,
George Clooney.
George Clooney, yeah, their dynamics as brothers
Yeah.
and what they're going through, I was like, "Yeah, I like this story. I like what's happening here." And then the
Yeah.
vampire showed up, and I'm like, it's no, it's okay. It's just okay." So both of them for me had that exact same thing where it's just like, I like where it's going, and then it just kind of went, "Yeah, it's okay."
Yeah, yeah. But
I don't.
I look at Dust Till Dawn as like a very product of like Goofy's '90s
Mhm.
independent filmmaking.
Yeah,
So I look back with that movie with some fondness. But
yeah.
yeah, Sinners was all right. It was
I
just it was just all right.
and I honestly like, how did he get out there in the water and not be seen?
I don't know.
like, he had to hold
Yeah.
his breath. Well, yeah, how to get there? But anyways, whatever.
Yeah, yeah. We could Neil deGrasse Tyson and pick it apart.
Yeah. um. So, you want to? So I don't know how many people. So, will end up watching this, but
Mm,
we'll go through your campaign just in case.
sure.
And we'll
Absolutely.
talk a little bit about that. So let me do a little.
Switcheroo.
Oops, I got the wrong one. Hold on. This one, and then this one. There we go. And then share screen, window, that one. There we go. Is it working?
Oh,
Something happened?
there we are. We're
There it
tiny, and
goes.
there's the Kickstarter.
um, so yeah, you hit your goal.
Yeah, we
Oh,
uh
so
we we just broke the
congratulations on
second.
that.
Thank you. We just broke the second stretch goal there. Where
Nice.
14 was the second one.
So,
So
how much
bookmarks, man.
longer do you have, is it gonna be running for? And are you, I know that, and from talking to guys, there's the initial pump and then a
Mhm.
dry season, and then, a little bit at the end, another pickup at the end. Hoping for that? Are you expecting that again?
Yeah, every campaign they call it the bathtub. Just kind of it
Mhm.
starts high, it goes into this sort of lull, and then picks up at the end. I think the for a lot of campaigns that last push at the end has starting to go down a little bit more. It's not as equal to the how it starts in the beginning.
Yeah.
But it does pretty well. Yeah, so the middle part is always kind of a grind. You're always just trying to like you're always trying to get somebody to back. You're always trying to have some kind of movement. You just
Mhm.
chip away at it so that you're in a great position when you get to like 48 hours.
On the growth between issues, so one, two, and three, and four, has has it been fairly like steady? Like, could you do you think you can like guess as to what four will get based off of the
Oh,
first
no.
three? No.
No idea. It's it's like I try to, have a lot of pre-launch followers just to kinda make sure that I have a really strong start.
Mhm.
But at Kickstarters, I mean, they find some way to humble you. Like you think it'll do this, and it actually does something else. But I mean, luckily with Star Noir, the readership has been growing with every book. I The first campaign it took like all of 30 days to raise 10K,
Mhm.
but as you see here, it just took a few days to get to 14. It's really been growing really strong. Very 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 passionate readers. Um, I think when I was doing the second book, there was a bit of a concern because my campaign had like hit 70% and just stopped dead.
Mhm.
And then I told my backers, I was like, hey, like if I can't raise the funds to make this, it'll just sort of go away. I mean, we have the team and the story and all that stuff. It's a financial hurdle. And
Yeah.
they really they like fixed that problem quickly. Like they backed it, they upped their pledges. They were basically like, "Oh, I don't think you understand, Tony. You're making another one."
Yeah.
Uh, and so I really like their passion and enthusiasm, and as I said at the top of the show, like they're kind of their passion for it keeps the work honest. So I never feel, and I never have a big head about the series.
Mhm.
I love this moment because what happens after it's done is all the pressure of trying to
Yeah.
reprove the series again.
Yeah, I think that had same similar thing happened to Fabrizio Aiello, who does Horace H. Hoover,
Mhm.
where his last book kind of stalled out, and it was the last day
Mhm.
of his campaign, and he's like, he got on to stream, his own little closeout stream, and it basically was like, he was like, "Well, this doesn't. I don't know if this is gonna make it." And by the end of it, everyone had shared it out. Everyone jumped on it and funded it. So it's when people like a project, and they want to see it,
Yeah.
you'll do what you can. Uh, Cole King's book looks great.
Yeah.
Bootleggers got a great looking book, and they're both of them are books that I personally want to see. So I'm doing a lot of like promoting on X and stuff. Like I I want to read these, so
Yeah.
let's help them out.
Yeah,
But
yeah, I really appreciated the community, the indie comics community. They really rallied around Moonshine. Like Moonshine was a very tough campaign for me. I mean, it started great. I mean, it was a much better in a much better position than the first Star Noir book, which was like pushing a boulder up a hill.
yeah, yeah,
Um, but yeah, I remember like getting to that like 70% ish with like a week left. And then it was like, no, everybody was like retweeting it. Bancroft was like, telling everybody how you got to go back it.
yeah,
So I really appreciated the community in that one, really rallying behind that one. So that was
yeah.
great.
So let's look at maybe we'll play the trailer.
Yeah.
Might as
It's
well.
yeah, just a minute.
Um, Last time I tried this, we'll see how it goes. How's that?
Okay. I think we only hear it on your end. I hear it through your speakers. That's me.
I'm not allowed to do my old-timey voice in the house anymore.
Oh yeah.
Apparently, I did it too much.
I yeah, every time I record that, I break out in a full sweat when I record that because I get really animated to try to kind of hit the inflection.
Mhm.
Um, they are very fun to make. But when I'm actually recording, it's like I have to open the windows because it gets really hot. Um, but yeah, this is Star Noir. It's, L.A. Noir meets the X Files. It's 1940. If you don't know about Star Noir, it's the 1940s murder mystery. The homicide detective teams up with a gray alien. They're trying to stop a shapeshifter who is posing as one of the officers in Central Station, and they're trying to figure out which one killed a beloved detective, Patrick Perkins. And yeah, every book kind of deepens the mystery. We get closer to finding out who this mysterious shapeshifter is. The third book opens with a letter from the shapeshifter, so we get insight into the psyche of that character. And Yeah, it's a really compelling series. You can always preview the first 9 pages of book one. There's a link under the cover. And yeah, we're breaking through our stretch goals. I got to update that graphic so now that we've crossed it. So
Nice.
the next thing is additional phone and wallpapers. Um, and Yeah, it's 16K. But Yeah, if you
Mhm.
go to the pages there tab there, you can kind of look at some of the new stuff that we have for the
Um, let's
the
go
uh,
right here.
fourth book. It's, yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one of the things that I really like about, the art, the artist does a really good job of, subtle facial features.
Yeah.
Little looks that the characters give each other that are, there's a cartooniness to them,
Mm.
but you know, they're still you read it, you know what they're thinking, it's he does a great job of that.
Yeah. Pablo's his strength is really the expressions. I mean, like, yeah, that shot where I can't wait to see for you guys to see what's like on page two of that look. That one's really that whole scene is really really great. We tease that murder house in the third book. We see Betty again. We show her. We introduced her in the second book. We have a great scene with her in the third book. We actually have like a very silent conversation that Alan has, and
Mhm,
that one is all facial expressions. You're trying to, as the reader, trying to figure out what they're discussing. Meanwhile, another detective is like eavesdropping on the conversation. He's trying to figure out what's being discussed, and then it sets up that final scene. Um,
mhm,
but yeah, there's Ellis gets into a scrap with some crooked cops. That's a, this There's a this whole train yard fight that happens with Ellis and Allen. Yeah, it's a really really fun scene. Well, fun's not a great way to describe it. It's a
action
very
packed.
tense. It's a very tense scene. And Allen gets knocked around in this portion of the story.
Are your, aliens, I know grays are, a alien race, and I'm assuming this is guy is a reptilian.
Yeah, reptilian. Yep.
Are you sticking with known, you know, alien races? Are you gonna get into, like, the Nordics and stuff like that?
Yeah, yeah, and yeah. I mean, I started with that. I started with this because it kind of, since we're all very familiar with it, it adds kind of a sense of believability to it, and it really kind of plays up the conspiracy of it
Mhm,
all, and also it kind of really fit with this kind of pulpy style. Yeah, but I do introduce new races. The New York City story, it introduces a brand new race that we haven't seen in this story arc.
nice.
Yeah.
Um,
There's Stella Belafonte again. We saw her. We were introduced to her at the club in the second book. We got a brief scene with her in the third book, and this is kind of playing off of what happened in the third book. I won't spoil what happens in the third book, but yeah, and this is the opening of book one. Patrick Perkins is the detective that gets murdered on the bridge. His heart is missing. All we have is this silver starlight, and Alan is yeah, he's off to the races trying to figure out who murdered Patrick. He runs into some dead ends, and then one night he's woken up by a gray alien who lands in his backyard and tells him telepathically that a a shapeshifter posing as one of his fellow officers is the one that killed Perkins, and he wants to help him figure out who it is. And he Ellis, our alien, a gray alien character, he appears as a human.
Mhm.
There's a specific reason why that happens. Alan can see Ellis as a gray alien, but everybody else just sees like a Tom Holland type, just a very just a young kid. Um,
That's what I was thinking when I was reading it, issue 3 the other day. I was like, "I could see this being Tom Holland playing this character." Like,
yeah. Um,
um, that I don't know if it's in one of these pictures, but the scene, in, the first issue where, he looks across the street and sees him sitting on the bench.
oh yeah, yeah, and he waves. Yeah, he waves. So
That's the great scene.
yeah. Um, yeah, I really like where the buddy cop aspect of Star Noir goes with Alan and Ellis in this
Mhm,
third book. You get to see a little bit more friction in this fourth book. The third one, it was because the first and second book, Alan is very reluctant in working with Ellis and kind of believing this whole alien thing. And then he is he gets some kind of conclusive evidence about the
mhm.
existence of aliens, so he can't really deny it anymore. And in the third book, you kind of start to see them be able to work together. There's a great car chase sequence that happens in the third book, and Alan ends up complimenting Ellis on a job well done. So you kind of gotta get to see how they kind of work together and play off each other.
Yeah, where are we at? Rewards? Okay, so this is,
Yeah, so you can get all four books. Actually, there's also for this book, for this campaign, there is a book one entry tier. So if like four books is too crazy, too much Star Noir to dive into, you can always do the first book. So yeah, we have posters of the book for cover. The Star Noir art team, we recreated Batman as this like 1940s detective. So this is like completely drawn by the Star Noir art team.
I like that
Drawn and colored.
I like that you kept the, purple gloves from the original.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah, he kept them. That's kinda nice.
and some of the outfit is inspired by the Gray Ghost. With
Mm,
very 40s and inspired Batman. Yeah, we got stickers, we got phone wallpapers. I don't know if you read the commentary that I did for book three,
mhm,
but I break down some of the locations and the letter that we do in the third book. I kind of show the inspirations for how kind of pulled from like Jack the Ripper and the Zodiac Killer, and and it showed some of their letters and how we
mhm.
kind of took elements from that to recreate our own thing. So yeah, those are kind of like the very core rewards that we have, and as a campaign. Oh, these are our exclusives. We're doing an enamel pin this time. Every time I do a survey, I ask my readers like what type of rewards you want to see, because
Mhm.
I'm just fine just doing books, but
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's Kickstarter, so you have to have the tchotchkes. You have to have the tchotchkes. And the number one thing they kept saying is like, we'd like to see an enamel pin. So it's like, okay, well let's do Ellis in his gray form as an enamel pin.
Mm,
So
yeah,
that's limited to 50. Pablo, in his own time and his own free time, created this watercolor. It's called gouache, but it's like basically like a watercolor.
mhm.
He put it on canvas, like just by himself. I was like flipping through Instagram, and I was like, "Hey, that's Alan from my book. What's going on with this?" And he was just like, "Yeah, he just decided to make that himself." And I was like, "Okay, well, send me the original to hang in my office, and we'll recruit we'll print it out, and we'll put it out for people to get as a reward, and then also you can be drawn into the book.
Nice.
We did this with five other backers for book three. They appear as like, there's one that appears as like a civilian. There's a couple that appear as like detectives. There's one at the very end that appears as a cop that is in the interrogation room. So it's really cool to kind of have some of the readers be
Yeah.
brought into this story. And with Pablo being so good at drawing faces, you kind of I feel like when I'm reading through it, it's like you could kind of tell which one is a backer. Like all of a sudden, like the face is very specific.
Honestly, I think I've seen those faces in the books and been like, it's a little different than
Yeah. Who is it? It's like, yeah,
yeah.
it's a backer just recreating their likeness for it. Because the way Pablo does a lot of these shots where like there are cops or civilians, he always has like people in the foreground kind of moving, and they were just kind
Mhm.
of regular people, like kind of nameless faces. So we thought it would be a good idea to like, well, what if we took a couple of those faces and made them our actual readers? So
Yeah.
we've got about, I
Um,
think we have like three spots left of the
this
five
is
that we have.
I was gonna ask about that, yeah. Um, add-ons?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, the previous books. We created. I did a trade of the first three books all together, but they're in grayscale.
Mm,
So you can. So if you want like that full like
yeah,
1940s film experience, you can kind of get it in black and white. That was
almost,
that was really
I'm
fun.
I love, black and white comics and stuff, so I'm
Yeah.
like, tempted, tempted. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's really good. Yeah, we did a Stella Belafonte print. We did baseball cards. We've for the longest time we had that first set, but readers kept asking for like a second set of baseball cards. So we took Ray Foster, Donnie Green, Patrick Perkins, other detectives that we see in the story. They have now have their own baseball cards, and there's character stats on there, even which gun that they use that you see them with in the story. That's noted there. Yeah,
nice,
they're pretty fun. And then the posters, our postcard prints. Yeah, we try to really make it a very tight, very efficient campaign. I've
nice.
seen campaigns that overload it with the add-ons. They just
Mhm.
want to like here's 100 add-ons, and it's like I think it's better when they're more focused. You don't want to overwhelm a backer. You want them to
Yeah.
be able to make a very quick decision.
Yeah, and, you know, I don't know if you've seen it, but there's been a little bit of conversation about the add-ons, the tchotchkes and the whatever, and,
Mhm.
it's surprising, I I don't need them. Like I'll take the book and I'm happy with that. But if I get them,
Mhm.
I keep them because it's kind of a cool, little thing. And someday, when there's a Star Noir, Tom Holland starring movie or whatever,
Mhm.
like I got these things. I could sell them on eBay. Who knows? Like it's kind of a cool little thing. But
Yeah.
but yeah, people are talking about like, oh, I just throw those right away. Well, don't do that. Like, find a little corner somewhere, keep them.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
But
I mean, the books. I mean, I think I really like the print quality of the books.
mhm,
They really do fit the prestige like nature of the art.
mhm,
Yeah, we make sure that the books are printed very high quality. The perfect bound books that we do, and then also you can read you can read previews of Moonshine, fully lettered, and then Reloader. My previous story, it was like this revenge story set in virtual reality. It was what I was working on before Star Noir.
mhm,
I've written some stuff substacks about kind of the trials and tribulations of making Reloader and all the things I learned about crowdfunding that went into making Star Noir a success. So if you want to check those books out or add those on to your order, you can definitely do that.
nice. So then,
Yeah, these are descriptions of those books. This is our art team. Pablo is actually he's doing a Red Sonja run right now
oh,
for
nice,
Dynamite.
cool.
So that's very huge for him.
Yeah,
Good job,
and
my friend.
your colorist too. I was gonna mention that earlier. The coloring
Venetia's,
is, yeah,
yeah,
fantastic. Just um, great blending. His choice for blood
yeah,
is fantastic. It's like it's not bright. There's a darkness to it. It kind of makes it a little more ugly than bright red shiny splashes.
yeah. It did. It adds to the groundedness. It makes it very visceral. The blood feels a little dirty.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, yeah. I really like the way that Vin does colors. Yeah, it's just super impressed.
Cole's paying you a little compliment on the
Oh, oh,
campaign page.
oh. Thank you, Cole. It is, I it's funny, you could, like, compare Star Noir Book 1, that campaign page, to this one. This one is just, like, it's just refined. It's just trying to make it cleaner, trying to make it more, marketplace friendly, because that's what, Kickstarter is more of a marketplace now more than ever. So you kinda wanna make sure it's incredibly easy for people to back and understand what you're doing.
And then just your different tiers.
Yeah, so if you're a new reader, The Big Sleep, this is your entry to get caught up in all four books. We throw a few extra goodies in there, like stickers and prints and some digital wallpapers, and then it of course comes with digital copies as well. And as a couple of backers asked me, if you do not want all those extra things and just want the books, that's fine. I'll make a quick note. A couple were like, "I want the books. I don't want the stickers though." And you're like, "Oh, it's fine. I'll keep them." Like,
Yeah.
just I wanted a nice welcome package for new readers.
And if you haven't read Star Noir yet, and you want to get into it, this is a good great price as well. It's
Mm,
running a bit of a discount from have backing them individually over
yeah,
the years. So get in on it like quick.
yeah. It's over 200 pages, so you're getting a huge chunk of story. Yeah, there's our book one tier. If you're like, four books, that's so crazy. Like, all right, would you just do the first one? And that one, if you just get the book and you don't do any add-ons or whatever, I can ship that out pretty quickly.
Mhm.
Yeah, we've got the digital copy of book four. This one is our physical book four.
So you did drop the price a little bit this time around. Is there
No,
um
it's the same.
isn't I thought it was the last book was 30.
No, it was always 25.
I wonder whose books I'm thinking of. Hmm.
No, no. This that $25 price point. We're like it's worked for several campaigns so
Yeah,
far,
yeah.
so we very careful to not tinker with the core price.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, this is to get like a smaller version, like the smaller print version of that Dark Detective print. So we slip it in with the comic. So this is the enamel pin. There's we're only doing 50 of these. We split it between its own reward tier and add-ons.
Hmm,
So there are people who are grabbing it through the actual reward. There's some people who are grabbing it through the add-ons.
nice.
Um, yeah, this is our digital catch-up out of the past.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah, so
I'm
many.
find I'm
Yeah,
finding I'm having to get more digital stuff
yeah,
lately. You know, just because like some of the stuff I'm getting is from Europe or wherever,
mhm,
and it's the shipping's starting to hurt. But yeah, if you're thinking about getting the books, and I understand people like digital. I don't get it. But like get the physical is it's just such a pretty book. It's
mm,
so good looking, and it feels good. So, but yeah, definitely if you have to get it, get the digital. But like, man, if you can get the physical stuff, it's
yeah. I mean, the physical. I mean, that's really the way that I had originally envisioned Star Noir, and it's the way that I like to read it. I mean, because page turns are such a core part of the
mhm,
experience, and I just don't think you quite get that. Just kind of scrolling digitally.
yeah. Um,
So this is the to get the book four poster and the the Batman print, but this is like 11 by 17 poster size, so you get two posters together. This one you get with this one has the watercolor print that Pablo made,
mhm.
in addition to the Batman print and the cover poster.
um,
I
just
also I also added that the I also added the Batman print is the poster in the smaller version. Those are also add-ons. So if you're just doing a catch-up tier, you can also add the Batman print on whichever size you prefer.
So if someone gets those tiers or the add-ons with the posters and stuff,
Mhm.
how do you ship? How are you shipping those out? As tubes or
Yeah, tubes. Yeah, we have some great, very sturdy tubes. Yeah, everything arrives safely. It
nice?
was funny. I did like a test print of one of my posters, and the printer sent it into this like flat mailer, and it got all bent up. And I'm like,
Mhm.
and this is why we don't do flat mailers. This is why we do the tubes, because this
Yeah.
wouldn't have happened with a tube. Yeah, this is to get the actual like canvas. Like it'll be on. It's not a poster. It's
Mhm.
like actual like premium canvas.
Nice.
So yeah, we're doing three of those. Yeah, this is all our early bird stuff. So
Got some stuff
if you were there on day one, yeah,
snatched up already. So,
you took advantage of it.
all right.
Yeah.
And so, like you said, the moonshine and stuff, are you're able to add those on once you
Yep. Yep.
choose your tier and stuff,
Yep.
and
And
yeah. So if you
there's even a bundle for Moonshine and Reloader, if you want to kind of save a few bucks. If you want both stories and you want to save a few bucks on the package, so there's a bundle for those two books.
nice, all right. So let's if you haven't, so then I do have that linked in the um description, and I'm pretty sure. Well, maybe I haven't done it in the chat, but
Mhm.
I'll get that. But it is in the description. So click that, head there, get yourself on some Star Noir, get yourself on some Moonshine, get yourself on the Tony James train, and and because he's coming up some great stuff. He's coming up with some fun stories, some exciting stories, and
Yeah.
his writing is clean. It's your dialogue is fantastic. It's like uh, uh, um, I hate anachronistic writing.
Mm.
You're trying. Um, there's a oh, my wife watches this show called Bridgerton.
Oh yeah, my girlfriend watched that show too.
You hate it. It's so fucking bad. It's so like if you want to be taken instantly out of the
Mhm.
realism of a show, watch that one.
Yeah.
Flat out, the way that people act, the way they talk, the music they choose, everything about it.
Yeah.
Thank you for not doing anything like that. Like this,
Yeah.
if you're sticking to your guns, if this is set in a certain time period, this is how people talked,
Yeah.
this is what they wore. Like it's a great book.
Well, you gotta commit to the bit.
Yeah.
I think it's you're doing a period piece, like do a period piece, like actually like dive in and commit to like every facet of that, even and that includes the dialogue. It's funny when working between Star Noir and Moonshine, they have like different cadences. Like Star Noir is very like snappy and very idiom heavy, but Moonshine is a western, so everything is like a little bit more long winded. There's kind of like a roundabout way that characters talk to you. Like if you watch like Deadwood or you played Red Dead Redemption, like
Mm.
it's a very similar speaking style. So when I flip between, I have to, oh wait, this is the one that's snappier. This is the one that's more long winded. Okay, got it.
Yeah. We got American Demon popping in. That subscribed to my channel yesterday, so thank you for that.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, let's. I think we got about our hour and a half. We've run across and covered a lot of different stuff, and I ranted about stuff I hated. So yeah, I think it's. I call that a success, but whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for coming on and sharing your work with us and
Yeah.
talking with us. And
It's good, good to actually like kind of like meet you. It was very like distant parasocial. It's just like,
yeah, yeah,
oh, there's Crenshaw. He really likes Star Noir, and that video that you made of Star Noir was like really catchy and really fun. So thank you for making that video. That
oh,
actually kind of, when I see creators out there like gushing about the work, it
mhm,
feels very rewarding. Yeah, when it's like you or Cole or Godfo or Bancroft, like you
yeah.
guys are very vocal about the work. So I really appreciate you guys doing
Yeah.
that.
I was actually so Nick Patch is sometimes co-host, and I was hoping he'd be able to make it tonight because I think you would have. You should, if we get a chance, get you guys to talk because he's
Yeah,
all about
Godfo,
story.
yeah, Godfo, well, he was telling me that I gotta, like, also talk to Nick. It was funny,
Yeah,
he was like, "Oh, have you heard of this guy, Nick Patch?" And the way he wrote it was he wrote Nick Patch and then in parentheses, strange pages, and my
mhm.
brain clocked it as Nick Pages. So there was like a good afternoon there. I was like, "How crazy that Nick is a writer and his last name's Pages." It's like a judge named Gavel, like, you could
Yeah.
have only so, like, now when I see, like, Nick Patch, it's like, "Hmm, you seem like more like a Nick Pages to me."
Oh, let's see. Cole says, "How seriously you take your writing and how you respect your stories is one of my favorite things about your books. A lot of indie writers don't respect their own stories."
Well, yeah, well, I mean, it's about, like, respecting the reader's time, you know?
Yeah.
As a reader of comic books, I don't like when a story feels like it's kinda phoned in, or you read, like, a story and you feel like, "I feel like only one thing happened. I read all
Mhm.
of these pages, and I feel like there was just one action sequence and
Yeah.
nothing really else happened. It was just a setup to something else." So yeah, I really want every book to feel really worth the reader's time. So yeah, I think every book that we make, there's a tremendous respect for the reader's experience. I don't want to I don't want to be self indulgent. I trim
Mhm.
pages when before I send a new script to the art team. I'm always trying to, like, actually, this 6 page scene would be stronger as 4 pages, and I really try to make the case for why that would work,
Yeah.
and make sure that doesn't step on the story at all. So we don't want to make it feel truncated at all.
Yeah. Yeah. I forget what I was listening to recently. It was a book, but yeah, very the writer was I felt very self-indulgent where the writing was like you're just trying to show off what some words and you
Yeah,
know how to put them together in a way, it's like so yeah, that's
yeah,
uh
yeah,
especially in a comic,
yeah.
you kind of want to cut to the quick.
Yeah, yeah, and especially like the experience of, like, if you're in a location in a comic scene, like, 4 pages is like a long time, like, to
Mhm.
be in a scene. Like, if you're reading something and you're in one location for 8 pages, you're like, "Oh, we're still here? Like, how we've not moved on to something else at this point?"
Yeah.
So I'm very, very cognizant of that. But it would be cool to talk to Nick Patch. Um, I saw him. He did a stream with Julius a few months back.
Mhm.
Uh, they were chatting up about stuff. Said some stuff about Joseph Campbell that I did not agree with. I would love to. I would love to unpack some of that stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
that'd be
and then
that'd be
yeah,
a good.
and then I saw that he I don't know, like, trouble on Twitter.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but yeah,
Yeah,
it'd be cool.
there'd be some fun conversation there then, yeah. and
Yeah.
and Julius is another one, I'd like to I'm waiting for him to come back, to stream and miss his
Yeah.
show, but
I haven't done his, show in a long time.
yeah.
I think the last time I was on a show was the infamous Tyler one.
Yeah, 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 well, he hasn't done a show for a long time, he got pretty busy, so
Okay,
it's
cool.
been a while since he did his, I I liked it, I enjoyed it, it was one of my
Yeah.
favorite ones, but,
Yeah,
um,
it's a very good chill discussion. That's
sounds
what I
good.
liked about Julius's channel. There's the
Yeah,
good, and Kyle's a
yeah.
big supporter of my work. He always makes sure that he backs my books.
Yeah, and he's a picky one.
Yeah.
So, anyways, all right, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up, guys, and we'll next week. Oh man, uh, hold on real quick. Let me check and see who I'm talking to next week. It is, I think Doctor Mask,
Oh,
Radio Elixir. I
Dr.
do.
Mask Retro Elixir.
Yeah, I believe that's who I'm talking to next week. I'd have to look at my map to my calendar to make sure,
Mhm,
but we are no, it is because we're talking about comics. So we're going to be talking about some five comics of his that mean something to him. So we're going to be talking about Batman, famous first edition,
mhm,
Marvel Super Special featuring Kiss,
mhm.
which I I read that the other night, and it's fantastic in a corny way. But Batman Nightfall, Camelot 3000 and Frank Miller's Ronin. So
Hmm.
if you
All great
want to
books.
hear about what those mean to him, and just I've got how many? I got 78 slides to show, so it'll be a good show. So we'll
Cool.
join us next week, and we'll talk to you then. We'll see you guys all on Twitter and other shows streams that I join and chat in. But all right, have a good night, y'all.
All right. See you guys.
Is it ending?